Okay, go.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. I'm your host, Michelle White, my host, Dr. Regina Hall, and we have a myriad of things we're going to talk about this evening, some really exciting topics. We have Jim Smock here from the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired. He is the Executive Director, and we have Miss Kashana Graham, who is, tell us your title, Kashana, because I don't want to say it wrong.
Outreach Engagement Specialist.
The Outreach Engagement Specialist. So we're gonna be talking about, there are many people, the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind has been around for 63 years.
Almost, yes.
Almost 63 years. I thought it was 62. I'm on the board of the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired. But almost 63 years, but there are still some people that have not heard about the agency. So we're going to do a two-part segment this week. And before we get started, we always like to share different information, community engagement information, updates, and things like that. Thus, the show, Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. So I have been posting just so many things about, on my Facebook page, Michelle Turner White, about expungements. And I've never in my life seen so many expungements, housing opportunities, Section 8, MISHDA, all different types of things. Go to the Facebook page and be sure, Michelle Turner White, and just see what things are out there. Because pretty much I just post information that is helpful to people in whatever resources they might need. And Dr. Regina, we want you to be sure and share about the tea coming up and everything else. Thank you.
Oh, you ready for me to share?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, before we get started on that, I do want to bring a word of encouragement. I was thinking about, there's so many things going on in the world, and for those who don't know me, I can be very involved in politics. I keep a lot of my political views to myself, of course, when I'm on the show. But one of the things that I wanted to know, because this is minority National Minority Month for mental health. And so one of the things that I wanted to know is that oftentimes we can get wrapped up in things defining us instead of us allowing ourselves to be defined by who we are. When you really think about our creation, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Just really think about that for a minute. And think about how there are just automatic things that we do that we don't have any control over, no matter what race you are. Waking yourself up, when you're sleeping through the night, you really don't have control over that. You may set your alarm, but sometimes you do. We all stay up. We say, wow, I couldn't get any sleep, right? We say that to ourselves. The way our hands move, there are just things about us that no one orchestrated, okay, but God, or whatever you believe in. And I think it's real important for us to develop a self-esteem and understanding about who we are. So when you hear things like, she's just a DEI going to be a DEI president. Really, what does that mean? How can you be a diversity, equity, inclusion? How can you even define someone by that? Mm-hmm. When we all are humans, we are all part of a human race. So I just want, if you've been hearing that, think about that. Just really think about letting labels define who you are. There are no labels that should define who we are, period. And I just want to encourage all of us in that, because that's an old game that has been played for a very long time. And I think we just need to get over it and recognize we all are part of the human race. We have talents and abilities, and we are interdependent and connected. That's who we are as a people. So I did want to bring that to the forefront. Now, to move on to the tea that's coming up. It's called the Women Empowerment Girls Tea Party that we're having. And that is on September the 7th at the Greater Grace Temple on West 7 Mile. And that's going to be from 12 to 3 p.m. And you can go to my website, sistersjourneyingtogether.com. That's Sisters Journeying, that's JOURNEYING together.org. .org. And if you just stay on that page, the home page, you can just scroll down and you can register. Tickets are $50, and what we do is raise money for October the 11th. October the 11th is the day that we have the International Day of the Girls, and we ask leaders and teachers and counselors, everyone in STEM, those are involved in the sciences, to get involved, and let's go out to the various schools and let them see us in our professions and what we're doing, for we can inspire and encourage, and definitely encourage diversity. So that's it.
And we also do things with people out of the country.
Yes. So I didn't want to take up too much time, but we do. We have a program that we do in Nigeria, and we empower girls there as well. So I'll bring back more information because I think it's important that we get to our guests and let them talk. But thank you guys for listening, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, as we're getting started here, we thank you for watching and tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. You're watching us right now on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the land, and you can catch us every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and all other streaming platforms. Yes. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share every time you tune in. Hit that like button and comment. Yes. And feel free to give us a call. For everyone who is listening this evening, if you have a comment, a question, or just a word of encouragement that you want to share, please feel free to give us a call right here at 313-355-6018. Again, that's 313-355-6018. So I'm going to go ahead and share Kashana's bio that she gave us about herself, and then you can share Jim's if you don't mind, Dr. Regina. Mm-hmm. So Miss Kashana Graham is an advocate, a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, and she currently is the vice president of a Lions Club. She's a Lions Club member. What is in the National Federation for the Blind. So she's a Lions Club member, of which I am also a Lions Club member. And she's a part of the National Federation for the Blind of Michigan at large, and a particular chapter. And she's the secretary for the National Lifers of America. And when she's not working, you'll find Kashana spending time with family, friends, and attending church. And she loves audible books, music, concerts, comedy shows, and plays. And Kashana has been working for the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired as the Outreach Engagement Specialist. Now, Kashana, you said you like audible books, but there's two reasons why you like audible books. Because you are blind, and you've been blind since how old?
I've been visually impaired since 19. I started losing my vision when I was in college. Mm-hmm. And so I actually started getting my books on CD. Okay. And then when Audible came around, I fell in love with the way the narrators described the books. That's when I fell in love with the Audible books.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been working with the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind?
I've been with Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind for 2 years. My 2-year anniversary was in July on the 11th.
Oh, I thought you'd been there long. You do such a great job. Yeah. I think I mentioned that I happen to sit on the board, and she's always busy and active doing different things with some of the programs. So before we get into some of the program, Dr. Regina is going to tell us about Jim, who's the executive director for the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Yeah, so Mr. Jim Smock was born and raised in Michigan. He is a graduate of the University of Michigan and the Thomas M. Cooley Law School. You know, I used to live in Lansing. Yeah, so Cooley Law School was really big up there, yeah. Jim had led organizations in the public and private sectors, most recently leading teams in nonprofit sectors. Prior to joining the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Jim worked in the senior living industry, focused on independent living, assisted living, and memory care. He is married and have 2 adult sons. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Thank
Jim.
you so much, everybody. It's great to be with you all.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
tell us a little bit about yourself, because I'm seeing that you kind of stayed within the care of caring for others.
Well, I like to think so, certainly. I've had a number of careers. I've been in the private sector, the public sector. I was a lobbyist in Lansing and Washington, D.C. for a period of time. So when you were talking about politics, that rang a bell with me in a previous life, so to speak. So but I'm very pleased to be here. I have been married. My wife and I celebrated our 29th anniversary
Congratulations.
earlier this month, and Kashana tells me that she's 1 year behind me. So congratulations to you
Yes,
and Arthur.
congratulations
really?
to you all as well.
Okay.
Coming up. So, but it's a pleasure to be here, and I've been at the agency for about a year now,
Okay.
and we've talked about need, and we've talked about the knowledge of the agency, and how some people don't know who we are or what we do. And so one of the things that I've been trying to work on for the last year, and it's an everyday function, is to raise that awareness.
Okay.
And if you want to ask me about donations and contributions, we can get
Definitely.
into that.
We're going to ask that and
but-
give
but-
the information.
Okay, but I don't want to take anyone's thunder away, so I'll yield the floor.
Well, tell us about the agency. Both of you. We want to hear you from the programming side, but just the general gist of the. I can't even say the acronyms because it's not one word, but GD.
GDA BVI.
There you go.
I know. Whenever I'm always talking with someone on the phone, I always say, okay, get ready for a long name.
Right.
And we go through it, and then we say, or you can say GDA or GDA BVI for short.
Okay.
Try saying that 6 times in a row, right?
Right. Exactly.
But the agency we've talked about has been around since 1961. It's had some name changes. It's had different locations. But the mission remains the same, to help and provide services to both the tangible service, and I think Dr. Regina, you and I were talking a little bit about this before we came on here, the intangible service, the support, the lifting people up, the focusing on what people can do or what they are capable of doing as opposed to what maybe they can't do. And I think Kashana can probably speak better to this than I can, but eliminating those stereotypes, eliminating myths about legally blind and visually impaired people, and understanding that it affects everybody. You talked about we're all part of the human race.
Yeah.
Blindness, visual impairment affects all people at different stages of life for different reasons. And for different reasons and different causes, etc. And so, regardless, we're here to provide those services to folks, to empower them, to bring dignity and honor to them, which is so important in a world that sometimes seems to be lacking in those things. So that's what we do. We teach Braille courses. We have what we call orientation and mobility, where 2 instructors will go to one's home and help that person navigate his or her home and become oriented so that that person, like we were talking about earlier, can be capable of doing certain things. We provide a lot of fellowship, so we have bingo, and we have movie days, and we have men's health club, women's health club, fair. We have book clubs. We have outings in the community. Kashana can probably speak better to that than I can, but we went to the Henry Ford, for example, Comerica Park, the DIA. And we're always looking to add programs and add services because the need is constant, but the need also changes over time, and people's stages in life change, obviously, as we go through this journey. So that's a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, we have clients that are in different stage of vision loss. So we have 2 teachers. We have a low vision specialist, and we have a teacher that is a VRT.
Which is?
She's a vision rehab specialist,
Okay.
therapist.
Mhm.
So she's Priscilla. She's totally blind.
Mhm.
Aya teaches low vision because a lot of our clients that come there, they only need low vision. So we're able to give them magnification techniques and training so that they can just go and say, oh, I just need a little bit of magnification. I just might need orientation and mobility to get situated in a home. And we'll go to the home and we'll set up things in their home for them.
Okay.
Show people how to properly place things that they
Yes.
might have otherwise just said, oh, this is here, I know where it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now you need to place it a little differently.
A few bump dots on the microwave and labeling their spices for them, and
Okay.
maybe labeling the stuff in their refrigerator and stuff. Talking to their family, letting them know, hey, look, when they put their stuff on the counter, don't move it. They're going to go back and get it. Let them know that, hey, they like their remote control right here on their nightstand, because when they come back and they look for their remote control, they want it to be there. I
That's
like to
right.
lay stuff a certain place.
Okay.
So if I got my slippers by the bed, don't push my slippers up under the bed, because I'm not going to be looking for them there.
Mm-hmm.
See, we lay our hands on things we can't see them because we know that they're there. You can see it, we can't. So we'll go to the home, we'll set things up for them. So you'll know why when you go, like if you have a loved one that can't see something and you go to clean up for them, you clean up around their stuff, but you put it right back where it was at,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because they're laying their hands on everything that you're moving.
I
So
love
we
that.
just kinda
So as
go in
part
and
of the
talk to
training,
family.
Kashana, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
it for the whole family, it sounds like.
When you go and do that in the home, it is.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is it an evaluation that?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So when Aya goes to the home, she does a low vision evaluation. And when Priscilla goes to the home, she does a VRT evaluation. And we'll go
Okay.
to the job, because a lot of people call and they're trying to keep their job. And so Priscilla and Aya, they'll go to their job and they'll tell the employer, hey, look, they need this equipment to keep their job. So they'll tell them they'll need JAWS, or they'll need Zoom, or they'll need this software on their computer.
Now,
And
what are JAWS?
JAWS is a talking software. So it's
Okay.
what I use on my computer, so that my computer will talk to me whenever I touch any key. It'll tell me whatever I'm touching. And then there's the way is a lot of commands with JAWS. And you may, say for instance, if you don't have on your glasses, you may need a little zoom to yours. And it'll bring everything in close for you. So I have a JAWS/Fusion. I can use it in closer. I used to be able to use it in closer.
Okay.
But now I can't, so I have to use that
Are you
JAWS
able to
software.
see it all?
I can see light, so I can tell when it's light outside.
Okay.
I can't see print anymore like I used to.
Okay.
But I can navigate enough.
No, you said this happened when you were 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your story and how that journey has been for you.
When I first started losing my vision, it was tough. That's why I think I can kind of understand a lot of clients when they come in. Because for me to tell somebody that come in, oh, it's not going to be hard, it's not going to be tough, I can't tell them that, because I know how tough it was for me.
Okay.
I started losing my vision when I was 19. I had just went to college. I was in there probably 2-3 weeks before my vision started going wrong.
Wow.
And there was nothing wrong with my sight when my mother dropped me off to go to school.
Did you have some kind of ailment?
I had no kind of illness. They did not know what was wrong. They thought I had a cold. My eyes was crossed. My fluid was high. I had a buildup of fluid in the head. And before they can get the pressure down, I had lost so much sight. It was irreplaceable.
Wow.
It damaged
Just
my
the
octave
mental
nerve.
part of that too had to be
It
really
was a lot.
devastating.
It was a lot, a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
To think that you went from driving one day to not being able to drive the next day. It was a whole lot.
So did you need to go to therapy? And...
My mother is a therapist.
Oh, okay.
So because my mother is a therapist,
Mm-hmm.
people think, oh, you got the therapist at home. It's hard to
That's
talk
right.
to your family.
That's right. Okay.
When you are,
Okay, Miss Therapist.
when
Yeah,
you're
well,
feeling
you
your- when
just
you're feeling-
not a therapist.
Yes.
A mother therapist don't need to be trying to do anything
Yes.
with a child.
Exactly.
Okay, that's just true.
It's kind of hard to tell. That's why when the clients come and they talk to me, I understand that it's hard to talk to your family
Yes.
when you have so much, because what do you tell somebody that's then went to bed that can see and wake up the next day and they can't see? Because we have clients that come to us that went home and they could see, and the next day they're plunged in darkness.
Wow.
And I would imagine that sometimes people become angry at the world, angry at God.
Very much so. So what do you tell them? So we have clients that call us, they're in tears. So we have to talk them through that. So we're their friend, we're their counselor, we're their mother, their sister, we're everything to them. So we're more than just their Braille teacher,
And that's awesome.
everything.
One of the classes that I know we teach, I forget the young lady's name who teaches it, is iPhone usage. Matter of fact,
Yes.
I attended the class for using the iPhone. Our iPhones, and I'm sure the Androids have it too,
Yes.
but there are features on the phone specifically for people that have visual impairment or total blindness that allow them to function very well. And it's a very interesting class.
So
Priscilla teaches that there, and Aya does the iPhone.
Okay.
The Android, and Priscilla does the iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Kashonda, when because that's one area, right? That because some people come in with blindness because of diabetes or other health issues, and when they have various type of ailments, how do you guys work with that individual?
Everybody has their own individual plan.
Okay,
And that's when that's what evaluation comes in at.
that's great. Yeah.
And we have a support group every second Tuesday. Gives the people a chance to talk.
Okay.
They give them a chance to talk amongst each other and share and really encourage each other.
I think that's awesome.
That's the best thing about this.
Yeah.
What are some of the other things that we do there also in the building?
I bring educational series in. I bring in speakers to come in and speak to the support group. We have bingo. We do a movie day.
So social activities
Social
to keep
activities.
people
Yeah.
I think it's really
socially
great
grounded.
too.
That's
Tell us where the building currently is located. I know you said there have been several different moves, but we're currently at where?
So we're currently in Southfield, the Southfield City Center area, which the address is 26777 Central Park Boulevard. We're right on the first floor, Suite 150,
Okay.
and that is in Southfield. We're essentially at Evergreen and 696. We've got plenty
Beautiful
of
location,
Thank you.
too.
We've got plenty of parking out in front, and we have one of the great things is that Metrolift, Smart, we're right on their route. So from a public transportation point of view, it's very convenient. One of the things I should mention is that we, in terms of service, we provide Lyft to bring clients to and from the agency.
That's wonderful.
Do they have to have insurance, or you said you provided? The
No,
agency
we
provides?
contract with Lyft.
Okay.
And that's
To
for the clients that that is in those spots of Smart that does not have that paratransit.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
those
So we're
Great.
trying
kind
to
of
provide that
vacant
for them. Yeah.
areas.
Because we service 7 counties:
Okay.
Tell us those counties.
Yeah, what are they?
Wayne, Monroe,
Oakland.
Oakland. Macomb, Washtenaw, Livingston, and St. Clair.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
tell me, because Jim, you said that it impacts everybody, and I was like, wow. Tell us how everyone is impacted by someone being blind, because that was a really good point that you made, and I know that sometimes we don't think about that. Like, how are we being impacted?
So, for example, I was talking with a lady the other day whose daughter is legally blind, and she said very nice things about the agency and very nice things about our staff, which I heartily echo. But she talked about how prior to her daughter becoming a client, both her daughter and she, as the parent, as the mom, felt sort of adrift. Where do I turn to? Who will listen to me? And sometimes, as Kashana said, we're mother, father, pastor, priest, brother, sister, etc. And this particular person said, thank you for bringing awareness to me as the parent, as the mom of a legally blind adult child. Okay, and I have a better understanding now I never quite understood perhaps what my daughter was going through, but in the experience that she has had and indirectly that I, the mom, have had with you, I have a better awareness and a better understanding.
That's awesome.
And we do approach that, that it's families, it's friends, it's one's inner circle,
Yeah.
maybe outer circle that are necessarily
Yes.
impacted. But we, as I said earlier, we don't dwell on the can'ts and
Yes.
the can't do's. It's the what's and the how's and the cans and the capability. And we have in our foyer, and Michelle has certainly been there and has seen it, the artwork. Much of that
Beautiful.
artwork was produced by people who are legally blind and or
It's
visually
beautiful.
impaired. And when someone says, well, that person probably can't do that, I think we refer to what we call the blue wall with all that beautiful artwork.
That's
on there.
wonderful.
And you're talking to someone who's a sighted person, and I can't draw a straight line with a ruler.
Okay.
So it's remarkable, truly, what people have done, and it's sort of what I look at every day, kind of as the inspiration for
Now,
why
how
we're
did you
here.
switch over to this from what you were doing to this agency? What brought you to the greater?
Well, senior living is a great industry. It's helping people who are vulnerable, and they themselves are on a various journey through the stages of life. But it's a tough business. Okay, it is a 24/7, 365 business, absolutely. And admittedly, I was looking for something that wasn't 24/7, 365.
Okay.
How's that working out for you?
Well,
He's here working this evening.
I like to say that I was able to have July 4th off and Labor Day and spend time with my wife for our anniversary a few weeks ago. So it was lovely.
Okay.
But this opportunity came along, and much like a lot of people, I didn't know much about the legally blind or visually impaired community. I had a general knowledge, certainly, of it. My mom was a diabetic, and that diabetes affected her vision greatly. Okay, and because of that, it led to a fall, which I think led, unfortunately, to an early passing for her. So that was my awareness.
Our
okay?
condolences.
Thank you.
So we've
Thank
got
you.
a great caller calling in. Hello, caller. Caller,
Hello there. How are you?
all is well. You have a question or comment for us this evening, or something you want to share?
Yes, I do have a question. This is Erica. Hi, Regina. Hi,
Hi.
Michelle.
Hi, Erica.
Hello, Erica.
Hey. So I work in the healthcare industry, and one of the challenges we have is for members who are legally blind getting to doctor's offices, just day-to-day ADLs, like just, maybe just going to the store or picking up like their medication. Do you all offer like a buddy system for people who are just getting, who are just like diagnosed with being legally blind until they're able to become independent?
What county are you in?
So both Wayne and Wayne County and Macomb, we service both counties.
Okay, now if
Yes.
they have MetroLift and Smart, they're able to take a personal care attendant with them on the ride for free.
Okay. Oh.
Now,
I
if they
didn't
ride
know that.
Smart, it's $3, and if they ride MetroLift, it's $2.50. So if they was able
Right.
to do those trips, they could take someone with them on those trips.
So the person pays the $2.50 or $3, and then the second person goes
Goes for free with them.
for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for those people who don't have like that one-on-one support, do you offer like I don't know what they call them, like a buddy system, who can actually go with them to these different places?
There's another organization called Interfaith Caregivers. They service those two counties that you spoke of. I will get in touch with
Right.
them or the area agency on aging in that county that you're speaking of.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. You all
That's a
have
great
blessed
question.
day.
Yeah, thanks
Thank you,
for
Erica.
calling.
Thank you for calling, Erica.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
You're watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I had a question for you, Kashana. How has your family, like your children, have there been fears that they have felt, or, in dealing in just, what, Mom, is this going to happen to me? I mean, did those conversations come up for you?
No.
That's
actually,
awesome.
I'm the only person in my family that's fish. I have an aunt that has that's a diabetic. A lot of my mother's sisters and brothers are diabetics.
Okay.
But my children, I have 2 children, a son and a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I think because they grew up, and I would grow with them, and they knew that I was visually impaired growing up. No,
Okay.
I don't think they had that fear.
Okay, that's awesome.
That is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes.
Because you would think that they might have that
Yes.
concern. What is it going to be like when I get 19?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they very helpful though. They're very helpful and protective.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Would you say they love their mama?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what are some other things? I know that we have some fundraisers and some things that we want to do before we go to the second half of our segment
Let me add
today.
a thing about before I
Yes.
get away from it. Jim was talking about the support we have at the agency for the families. We have a family and friends support group.
Okay.
Mm.
It happens every second Thursday in the evening at 6:30. It's for the families and the friends. Because we give a lot of support to our clients, but we want to give support to the families because
They need
they
it.
need an outlet to talk. Because you said it before about the caregivers. We were talking about that, Regina, about
Yeah.
the caregivers.
They burn out.
They burn out.
Yes.
So we have a support group for the family, so they can have a time to come back and they talk about their loved ones, what they need, how they can support their family. So that's what we do every second Thursday at 6:30. We get together with the families and we educate them about visually impaired.
I think that's beautiful because one of the things that my church, Dr. Sampson, used to say that presence is power. And it really, really is. And just the young lady I was sharing with you guys about, I encouraged her to find a support group because then she can, garner the strength to be able to set these boundaries that she's standing in her way of setting. And I just think support groups are great for that because there is power in presence. So thank you for mentioning that. Yeah.
So we've discussed that the agency, I want to be clear. I want people to be clear about what services the agency provides. Family support, individual support for the person who is blind or visually impaired or whatever their impairment is. And then what else? We do
We have a computer lab.
computer lab, the
We have
software
tech
for your
training,
tech
yes.
training.
We have orientation and mobility. We
Okay.
have Braille.
Mm-hmm.
We have low vision specialists there. We have outreach,
Transportation.
and if you need your transportation application filled out, like I was telling a young lady about the SMART and the Metro Transit application, because a lot of people get those applications and they take it to the doctor. Well, if you get the application and you bring it there, we'll fill that out and it'll bypass that process.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's key. Say that again. So
It'll
if somebody
back
needs assistance,
If you need assistance filling out your Metro Paratransit application from SMART or DDOT,
if you're
if you
blind
bring
or
it-
visually
if you're
impaired,
blind or visually impaired, if you bring it to the agency, we can help you fill that out and it'll bypass that process of going to the doctor.
Well, before we start wrapping up, you have an event coming up, right?
Jim is going to talk about
Okay.
all the donations.
All right.
So our next big event is our health and immunization fair. That's Friday, August 16th. And we have a number of healthcare professionals that will be there at our location in Southfield that Friday, presenting, having information available, availing, or people can take advantage of that, of their signing up for services, etc. We also, and I'm going to give a shout out to the Wayne State University School of Health or School of Medicine. I'm sorry if I botched that, but they are going to be with us again. We did this a year ago. They will be with us again next month, and they will be doing immunizations, so COVID and shingles and those other icky, nasty things that we don't want anyone to get. They will be immunizing against that, and this is at no
free.
cost.
Yeah, this one is free.
And all of the service.
What date is it on?
That's Friday, August 16th.
And what time?
It's
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
And it'll be at the agency.
Right.
In
Yeah.
Southfield. What is that address again?
That is 26777 Central Park Boulevard, Suite 150, right on the first floor. And I should mention, and I know you need to move on to your next segment, so we do not receive any government funding. Some people think that we are a line item in the state's budget. I wish that were the case, but we are not. So we rely on donations, grants, contributions, both financial contributions as well as in-kind donations. And so if people are interested in participating with us and joining with us to help us deliver these great services, and I think very necessary services, they can go to our website, which is lifebeyondsight.org. Again, that's lifebeyondsight.org. And right on the landing page, there is a big blue donate button.
Okay.
And you can donate, and we're looking at revising the website to make it more navigable, easier to use, as well as easier for people to make donations and contributions. But we really want to ramp up this part of what the organization does. We need the donations. We need that revenue. We are living in inflationary times. Everybody knows that. And so anything that anyone might be able to do would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. Yes.
And you'll get lots of thank you letters and kudos from everyone on our staff. Before I forget, Kashana mentioned intake and evaluation. The other member of our team we haven't mentioned is Ms. Malika.
Okay.
She is our community care coordinator, and she often is the first person with whom you might interact at the agency. She does a wonderful job, and she gathers that information and makes determinations as far as fit and services and that type of thing. So I want to give a shout out to Malika. I hope you're listening, Malika.
And she's actually the person that's been at the agency the longest. She's been there 18 years.
Oh,
She's like she
wow.
was 10 when she started. So I don't know how that works out. but
We
she-
so appreciate you all coming in and
Yes.
sharing
Thank you.
all this
Thank
information.
you.
Thank you so
And
much.
people
for
can
joining.
you can go to lifebeyondsight.org
.org.
Correct.
and get more information about the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to come out to their event on August the
16th.
16th.
Friday.
10 to 2.
10 to 2 on that Friday.
Yes, join
and
us, please.
Join us, and you can find out more information.
On their
Again,
website.
thank you all.
Yep.
Yes,
for
thank
coming.
you. Thank you so
Thank
much. It's been a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
those of
thank
you
you.
who are watching, you have tuned in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts right here on Wjzz Cool TV, Community Updates. And we're making a switch transition right now. We have some other guests that are coming in right now. We're going to be talking to some youth about bullying and things that youth and encounter and
Self-esteem.
engage in self-esteem building and ways to we're going to hear from them and some of the things that they do to combat these things. Thank you so much. Come on in. So we have joining us now, we have two other lovely guests. We have Miss London White. I think of their names. Miss London White, and we have Mr. Caden Slater. Keep your chair still. Yeah. And
I'll be happy to help you.
oh, her watch. You have her watch?
It's on the table.
Okay. So this happens to be my granddaughter and my
Right.
godson, and they're here from, well, she's here from Texas right now, living in Austin, Texas. And so we like talking to our youth. We had even intended, Dr. Regina, to have a few more youth on this evening, but that didn't happen. But we got these two great people.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about, in the car, they were sharing with us some of the things that we hear that a lot of youth are dealing with bullying going on in school, some killing themselves because of bullying, and then knowing ways to keep your self-esteem built up, just like we adults have to do things to keep our self-esteem built up.
Yes.
Youth do as well. So we thank you, Mr. Caden Slater and Miss London White, for being our guest today. Who would like to go first? We want you to tell us, have you ever been bullied in school?
At my Oakland Christian school, in this Michigan school, this teacher slapped me because I slapped another girl when we were she slapped me like she was my parent when we were in school, and my mom worked at the school too.
Yeah.
And so the teacher could have just gotten your parent. Don't touch the mic. They can hear you. Just keep talking up. You're doing a great job. So that was a traumatic experience.
I can imagine.
Yes.
How?
And her mother, and this was in kindergarten or first grade?
And they also said that I had to retake kindergarten because of my responsibility. So I should be in 6th grade, but right now I'm going into 5th. But I'm still happy that I'm going into 5th too.
Okay, because of your responsibility.
Yes.
In kindergarten. What Well, you don't know.
Yeah. I'm like,
But what you shared with me was that when I asked you, have you ever experienced any bullying? You said yes, from my teacher.
Yes.
And oftentimes we forget that it's not just children getting bullied by other children, it's also by adults. And whether that be the teacher or someone in their home or some relative or another adult. So that's not a good thing. But you have been able to, you tell us how you keep let's stay on the topic of bullying. And Caden, you were sharing with us some experience. Tell us about the experience you had with bullying.
The experience I had with bullying, I got bullied for about 2 months. It wasn't like that serious, but it got serious towards the end. There wasn't any specific reason. It was just like because I was the new kid of the school, and they just started picking on me for real. And it ended in a fight. And the only reason I didn't tell my parents, I told my mom, but it wasn't like that serious. Like I was like, just relax.
But it's always serious.
well, for us
as parents.
yeah.
So it's always good, and sometimes we parents think that the children are just, you're just being dramatic. But we have to listen to our children in this day and time, because bullying is real and it is happening in these schools, whether they be a Christian school or not. And it's
Right.
even more traumatic. You don't expect it to happen in a Christian school. But you told your mom you were being bullied for about 2 months for some kids that were doing what? What were they doing? Just being mean to you? You were the new...
Just being like the school bullies, because I wasn't the only one that got bullied by them.
Now, is it that when you told your mom to relax, it's not that serious, what did you really mean by that?
Because my mama, I know her.
Okay, yeah.
You know she'll go get with somebody?
Right, yeah. I was about to say, he was trying to protect, right.
Same with what she said. What'd you say that again?
Same with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would like to say another thing.
Yes, ma'am.
There is this, also there's this girl too. There was this girl, she got bullied, and she was 13, and she got bullied since elementary school, and she killed herself because the one main person kept bullying her over and over again.
A child, another child?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, London, and it's very difficult to be bullied. And at that age, at 13, when you're going through so many changes within your body and your mind, and just trying to grasp an understanding of who you are, and to have kids to bully you. I mean, they can verbally bully, they can get on social media and bully you and invite other people into the situation, or you have the standbyers who won't say anything. And we do encourage kids to become like upstanders, to don't be a bystander, be a upstander. And we don't want you getting hurt, but we definitely want you to let your voice be heard against it.
To speak up for yourself.
Yeah, to speak up. And so I'm wondering, did you know the little girl?
No.
Okay.
It's all over social media.
Really? It's recently happened?
It happened in 2023.
Really? Wow.
Her name is Aubrey Wyatt.
Wow.
Well, you remembered her too.
Yeah, say her name. Wow,
Mhm.
that's awesome that you even remembering that. Yeah, and saying her name. So how did that impact you, London?
I think it impacted me, 'cause I feel like if you are like being mean to someone or like anybody else, I think you should just like remember her story and think what you could do to another person. So I don't think you should bully someone, because something could happen to them and you would feel bad because it would be your fault because of that.
Okay.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. So now, Kaden, you were telling us with the situation where you got bullied. I think you mentioned to me earlier off air that they had broken something, your water bottle,
Mm-hmm.
and that made you angry.
Very.
And
I'm still here a little of it.
and then you retaliated and broke something of theirs. And but it was a situation where there were like 6 people wanting to beat you up or something, or several people.
Yeah, it was about 6 people, and then I started like I wasn't laughing, but like I was like, what the heck? Because like these random kids that like not in my group or the other group knows, like just started joining in, fighting other kids.
Mm.
And yeah, it just kind of got wild.
But now you're a jiu-jitsu expert.
I love jujitsu. I took a little of it.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been training since the beginning of
5th grade?
March.
Really?
Okay, this year.
It's a lot of body contact now. Jiu-jitsu.
A
A lot of body contact.
Really?
So, oh my God.
I've seen
yes.
him do some of his techniques around the house. Well, that was part of the jiu-jitsu that I've seen you doing, right? The flips and the body grabs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very intimate, So when you're jiu-jitsu and you're going after your attacker, they better hope that you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, really, because the holes that you can put them in, and the
I've
things
seen
that you
his
can
holes.
do, I mean, it is insane. It really, really
But
is.
now the children, they didn't bother you after you beat the guy up, right?
No.
I used to say, sometimes it's not good to fight. You never want to get in fights. But every now and then, if you do, make sure you beat them up so they don't mess with you again.
Yeah.
So,
Well, people don't fight fair. Do you guys find that? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
fair fighting anymore. When we went to school,
what do they do in school now?
well,
When I went to school, you took
we
a
didn't have
rock and you
social
just put the
media,
rock
right.
on their
We didn't
shoulder.
have- we couldn't go blasting.
Right.
We didn't have,
Right.
we didn't have cyber, what do they call it?
Cyberbullying.
Yeah, we didn't have
Cyberbullying,
cyberbullying, yeah. You didn't have all these gangs of girls. Now, you may have had some gangs of girls, right? Or boys or whatever. I mean, but they got guns and knives and...
Do they have that in your schools?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm in elementary.
But I know somebody did.
Okay.
There was a school shooting because somebody was getting bullied.
Okay, I just want to be serious about that. And you hear adults say, because your mom may have been one of them. I beat up kids. I fight kids.
For sure, it was not just my mom. It was my auntie, my
Okay.
grandma, my
Don't tell
grandma,
people that on air.
Everybody.
That's so funny.
His mother is sweet as pie.
They are sweet as pie, but you mess with their babies.
Oh,
okay?
there, I know that.
We just heard you.
Dang.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm good till you mess with my babies.
Okay, that's just it. That's just it.
Yeah.
So, what would your recommendation be, or when a young person is struggling and they are contemplating suicide? That's pretty heavy. What would you guys say to a friend or to someone who's struggling?
I mean, I'm sorry. I would say that one of my friends got bullied, and I tried to stop it from happening, but she didn't want me being involved. So I told the teacher, and they went and handled it.
Good.
So I just feel like you should always tell an adult or a parent, and if they don't listen, I don't know what to say about that.
Well, you are an upstander.
Yes.
You got involved.
Yes.
You did not allow your friend to continue down that road. And even though your friend wanted to protect you because she was like, I don't want this to happen to you, London, right? But yet you stood up for her. And what a kind and loving friend you are. Very loving. But you are right. Sometimes teachers or the adult don't get involved because they do what Michelle said. They blow it off. You just kids. Always find another adult.
Yes.
And if that adult don't listen, go to another
one.
adult. Never give up on helping yourself.
And you've got principals. Aren't you all able to talk to the principal?
Yes, and sometimes the principals don't listen either.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's true.
Now you're hearing it right here on Wjzz Cool TV, community updates and enlightened hearts. Sometimes the parents aren't listening. Sometimes the teachers and the principals are not listening. And yes, we know children can exaggerate about some things, but you have to exactly listen to them first. So we've got a caller coming in that wants to maybe ask you a question or make a comment. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Khadija Muhammad. I wrote a book on bullying.
Oh.
I've been looking at your show, I've know that topic very well. But I wanted to ask the kids a question about how comfortable do they feel to go to their principals and authorities when they're being bullied.
I feel very comfortable considering my mom works at my school, but it's still different because at my old school, my mom still worked at that school, and the principal still wasn't the most kind person. So I think I should but I still feel comfortable because I've met my principal, and she is the most great person you could ever meet.
That's awesome. What about you?
What?
I feel, I've only been to 2 or 3 schools.
You were in homeschooled.
Yeah, I was homeschooled from 3rd grade, and then I'm just now going back to school for middle school.
Okay.
But in both of those schools, the principal was very, very nice, and I got into a school fight at both of those, and they always listened. I actually listened. And but at the school where I went to, elementary, kindergarten, I just was at elementary until 2nd grade. They had cameras in some of the rooms, mainly the little kids' rooms. And they actually saw what had happened, so they actually believed me. And
that's great.
And then for the school that I was just at before I was homeschooled, the principal, he's really nice. He's just a really nice dude, very mellow, and he didn't put it he didn't just favor me. He favored everybody, and we ended up getting detention. But I always feel comfortable to go to either one of my principals.
That's awesome.
Khadija?
Yes. I was wanting to find out, do they think that most nice kids are bullied by the more aggressive kids, or just they randomly pick kids in the school itself. And thank you very much.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay. We've got leaders, both of these children, leaders.
I think that it's mostly the aggressive people, because I think they just have problems in their own lives. They could not get good grades, or they couldn't like have something, and then when the other person has it, I think they just retaliate because they're jealous of them. But really, I feel like it just could just be something in their life. I don't think it's about you. I just think that it's something in their life that's happening, and maybe you should just like, you still should tell a teacher, and maybe they should like talk to them about it. Or I don't think, maybe you should like talk to their parent. Maybe you should tell your own parent and ask them to talk to their parent and get their number to talk to them about what's happening at home.
Very good. Caden?
And I want to add on to that. Really, anybody could be going through anything, or they could just be mean, literally, and be like, I don't like you, so I'm going to pick on you.
So do you think the aggressive children pick on the nice children?
Sometimes, like, sometimes, but they could, I've seen it before, they will pick on other aggressive children.
Okay.
Yeah. It is 6:55, so
And-
before Roger cut us off.
Well, he's being nice. So one of the thing, real quick, that scripture, you guys, and you didn't know that, the Bible says that what causes fights and quarrels among you, don't they come from the wars that are going on inside of you? And you spoke to that. Usually it is something going on internally, or something that is happening in your home environment that causes you, or maybe you got beat up or getting beat up by your mom, dad, sister, whomever, and it causes you to come out and be aggressive or overly aggressive. It comes out, and it comes out, unfortunately, with other children or other ways.
Right.
Something?
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like it comes out in different ways, just like you guys said. Really, it could, like, it comes out in different ways, because if you want to, like, say it, that's one way, and if you want to, like, be aggressive with it, that's another way. But they're both different ways, and they're like, there's a kind way, and then there's retaliating way. Two
Right.
different things.
Now, so did you want to offer any comments to them, Khadijah, before we start closing out?
Khadijah, you still there? Oh, I think she left.
hung up. All right.
Yeah, well, this was great,
yeah, we have to
guys.
have you guys
Well,
back.
tell us
Yeah.
2 quick things that you do to build up your self-esteem,
That's a
to
good
keep
one.
your self-esteem up, keep yourself encouraged.
Well, I have a lot of talents, and if somebody says something mean to me, or if my brother, for example, says something mean to me, I would start doing something that I love to do, like drawing or trying to make clothes.
Okay.
So, and I like to also,
You're a
Go.
singer, you're an actor.
I like to sing too. And also, I like to post things. Just today, I did
Gymnastics, flips.
when we went to the trampoline park today, I did a round of back tuck. or
Very
back
good.
And
flip.
she got how many views in an hour?
I got
1,000.
I got 1,000. I got 1,000.
She said, okay, Granny.
Right, don't, let me tell it.
Yes, right. You got 1,000 views.
I got 1,101 views.
Ooh, I need to work with you.
Exactly,
What
and
would you
Tate
like
us,
to say
yes, before we get cut off.
Okay.
So if somebody says something like mean about me or like personal about me, I just barely paying them any attention, but okay.
And what's your
My
motto
day.
that you learned from the mentoring in your class?
I will not be mastered by my emotions, instead I will rule over them.
I will not be
Yeah.
mastered by my
the
emotions.
Bible, too.
Instead, I will
Yeah.
roll over them.
You know, I just want to say too, if younger people are listening today, and thank you guys for sharing.
And thank you, Khadijah,
We-
for calling in.
Yeah, we have first. Let's just deal with ourselves as human beings.
Yes.
Human beings, we are flawed individuals. I think if we just accept the fact that we are flawed individuals and know that we are fearfully, wonderfully made,
Yes.
know that, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to have weaknesses and strengths about us, and so everybody has it. And one of the things that I encourage young people to do is put a 10 on your head and other people's head. If you put a 10 on someone's head, do you understand that you have high value? I don't care if that person is laying out on the street. They still part of the human race. And guess what? It's not about our talents, because those are things that God give to us, our talents, our abilities. The fact that we are human and the fact that we are fearfully made is enough. I just wanted to offer you guys that
And
today.
these are praying young people, both
I
of
love
them.
it.
They pray, they know the word, and they pray all the time.
That is great.
She
Well,
tells us to pray, but sometimes it's not just her telling us to pray. We pray over our own lives. and
that's wonderful.
I
love
when
that.
when I try to do something, I just said, Lord, please help me do this, because I kept going over and over again because I never gave up on it, because I just really want to learn how to do this trick, and I just keep going and going.
That's wonderful. I love that. Well, you have been watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching
Thank
WJZZ
you.
Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Bye.